All right. So, myself, Ketan, I will be taking your internal security questions or topics related to internal security. So, first of all, tired? How's the Josh? So, this is one thing which you have to learn from the UPSC. There are a lot of things which you will learn in this preparation. One is how to maintain patience and continuity. So the extended sessions like these will help you in understanding that these are the demands of the thing. For example, in mains, you have to write continuously, think and write for 6 hours on several days. Let us say कभी उस तरीके से किया ही नहीं है. No, after half an hour you are feeling sleepy. So these are the things which will prepare you for the D-Day. All right. All right. So I hope a lot of esteemed faculties might have talked already about how to approach the things. I will give you a little bit just my point of view. So, what are the few ingredients? See, 2-3 things you have to be very crucial about answer writing. Very crucial. First thing would be that you're writing answers to get marks. Simple as that, because you're sitting in a competitive exam. So you're writing answers with a single focus of getting marks. That's it. All right. So you have to have that approach. You have to develop that expertise ki how to write the things in order to fetch more and more marks. All right. That is the one thing which you have to develop. So answer writing needs practice. So that is one very crucial aspect, that it need practice. You must have seen in the previous discussions which has had today and yesterday also, that they are repeatedly asking the previous year themes. And the topic which we are going to discuss, that is internal security. All right. So it's a very rewarding topic. If you have done the syllabus itself, if you have read the syllabus, what is the basic requirement of the syllabus, you will be able to do all the question, and we'll see. You will be able to do all the question. So first is, it need practice. It cannot come overnight. It will never come overnight. The first answers which you will write will be first answers. But you have to learn over a period of time the mistakes you need to avoid. That is the first thing. The mistakes you need to avoid, and the positives which you need to carry answer after answer. All right. So the mistakes which needs to be avoided, and the things which needs to be there in your answer. So you will learn this ability only via practice. You can see n number of videos, you can read n number of tips and tricks, but if you are not practicing it, you will be not able to emulate via answer writing. All right. Second is, so various subjects, one of the very key thing is that develop subject specific vocabulary. Subject specific keywords. All right. For example, internal security, so you have to write in that manner. Agriculture, you have to write subject specific vocabulary. Economics, you have to write in that manner. All right. Polity, you have to have that ability of writing the subject specific keywords. That you will develop over a period of time. As you read newspaper, as you attend the classes, as you read books, you will develop that thing. So this will also not happen overnight, and this is very important. very, very important if you want to fetch that extra marks. Alright, if you want to fetch that extra marks. Alright, so fetching, let us say 0.25 or 0.5 marks extra in each question, and from, let us say, rank 250 to under 10. As simple as that. As simple as that. So because hardly 20, 30 or let us say 40 marks will separate all these people. Alright. So that is why this has to be very, very clear that okay, over a period of time, this is what I have to keep in mind. This is what I have to keep in mind. Another very crucial aspect which student often misses out. See, one of the thing is that you will keep on reading things. That's it. You will keep on reading various things. But what is the game of mains? Application. Whether whatever you have read, you are able to, let us say, reproduce, represent in a fixed duration of time, that too in a fixed amount of paper, 1, 2 paper or 3 paper, 3 pages, fixed space. Alright. So in mains, you are working under 2-3 limitations. First is limited time and limited space. That is a given. From the day one, you have to understand that you will be working under this 2 constraint. Alright, approximately 7 minutes for 10 markers and 11 minutes or let us say 12 minutes, 11.5 minutes for 15 markers. So from the day one, you have to understand that you have to work under this constraint. So how to overcome this constraint? Mainly through practice. And the one very crucial aspect which student misses out is they are more into reading more and more things and less into brainstorming. So meaning of brainstorming is that you are able to connect with the question. Okay, these are the few things which I will be writing. I may not write, but I will think around that question. Let us say whatever the current happenings have been there, whether I am able to connect it with that question or not. Alright, whether I am able to come up with certain introduction, whether I believe that I will be able to put certain value addition in it. Alright. So this you will only understand when you will sit with the question. When you will sit with the question. It's mostly that what you do. You read, and then suddenly you give the marks, you take the test, you read the answers, let us say, and just, you never sit with the question. Okay, let me sit with the question, let me talk to the question, let me find something extra which I can put in that question. Let me, put in the process or think a little bit around that question. So that is one of the most significant aspects of mains. Sometimes you may see certain toppers which they will say that I have read less, but I have brainstormed more. That is why I was able to get more marks. Alright. So very clearly, even if you are reading everything, if you are knowing everything also, you have to translate it into marks. You have to translate it into the marks. Sometimes you will see people who know every questions, but they are not able to write all the answers. Maybe slow handwriting. Alright. So knowledge is one thing. Be very clear. Knowledge is one thing. Getting marks in the actual exam is another thing. There may be certain correlation, but not always. It does not mean कि आपके पास knowledge है, you will get marks always. So keep those things in mind. Like, go for certain value addition. See, I'm not talking about the basics because I know कि those things which have been discussed extensively. So I'm mostly focused on कि what are the things which you need to think upon. Right? So this subject specific again. Alright, so polity, judgment, keywords, articles, etc. I know economics, committee recommendation, facts, etc. So this thing you will be able to understand only when you are having or no sitting with the question, spending some time with the question, whether you are able to write it or not. Otherwise, more or less what happens is people end up writing very generalistic answers. जो उस समय दिमाग में आ रहा है वो लिख देते हैं. सिंपल. बिकॉज समटाइम्स यू मे हियर दैट कि अगर पेपर कंप्लीट भी कर लिया है तो बहुत बड़ी बात है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. Right? So you have to understand that you are sitting in a competitive exam and you are writing this mains only to get more and more marks, and that should be the only strategy in your mind ki how to get the more marks. The practices which increases your chance of getting more marks are good practices. You have to keep repeating those practices. You have to keep repeating those practices, and the practices which do not help in getting more marks, you have to leave them. That is what we call as incremental changes over a period of time. You will write few answers, you will get, okay, these are the positives, these are the negatives. Then you will maximize on positives, you will leave on the negatives, you will write other things. Then again you will take the feedbacks, and over a period of time, you will see that from where you started and from where you are, there is wider change. That can happen only through these points. So content is the king, that is no doubt. But how to present that thing? How to present that thing? Alright, because sometimes when you have not practiced this, you may end up writing notes, your notes as an answer. No, simply you will copy paste your notes and you will understand कि ठीक है ये तो सारा मैंने लिख दिया है, but you will not get the marks. So just few things to understand that कि हाँ, these are the very crucial aspects. Now coming to internal security. Few mistakes which students often do. Say they generally correlate GS3 paper with only economics. With only economics and agriculture. No, they will only think upon that this paper is only related to economics. They will GS3 मतलब economics पढ़ रहे हैं या agriculture पढ़ रहे हैं. But if you see the paper, 50% questions are from internal security, science and technology, and environment and disaster. So वो एक बहुत बड़ा confusion है कि I am only reading economics, and I am thinking that GS3 में marks नहीं आ रहे. Alright, that is the first thing. Second thing is regarding internal security. So it is one of the highly rewarding topic for the mains. Very high reward. If you have done the things, at least the syllabus you have covered. Minimum requirement is at least if you have covered the syllabus, you will be able to answer and you will be able to get good marks. Alright. So that is why very high rewarding. Another very crucial aspect is questions are usually direct and within the syllabus. वैसे तो सब कुछ syllabus का part है, but just within the syllabus. Usually direct. So also themes are usually repeated. In one form or the other. In one form or the other. Alright? In one form or the other, these are usually repeated after every 2-3 years. So if you have done the basics in internal security, alright, so you will be able to maximize your score. You will be able to maximize your score. Or from internal security, usually 4 questions are asked. 4 questions are asked. It will be usually 9 and 10 and 19 and 20. So these are 10 marks each and these are 15 marks each. These are 15 marks each. So this is basically the things related to internal security. So it's a very rewarding topic. All right, very, very rewarding, and you have to just spend, or you have to attend the classes only. That will be more than sufficient. That will be more than sufficient. All right. So now let us look the question. All right. So first question is winning the hearts and minds. Winning of hearts and minds in terrorism affected areas is an essential step in restoring the trust of the population. In restoring the trust of the population, discuss the measures adopted by government in this respect. In this respect meaning in promoting VAM. In this respect meaning in promoting VAM as a strategy as part of conflict resolution in Jammu and Kashmir. So specifically they have specified ki VAM strategy as applied in Jammu and Kashmir. Jammu and Kashmir. All right. So see, one of the key point of the syllabus is development and spread of extremism. The first topic is development and spread of extremism. So from there they have taken this usually the things. When, for example, let us say, I will ask few questions from you guys also. Let us say government is going for, or for example, let us say the people in conflict inflicted, let us say Jammu and Kashmir, for example, is their support to the government, or let us say to the police, state police or central police, is essential in fighting the, let us say, terrorism in that area. Why?
And without their cooperation, operations cannot happen.
So there will be less radicalism, extremism, population as well government.
So that is what one of the thing is, that winning the hearts and minds of people. Sometimes, see, very plain, sometimes when you see, let us say, an act, sometimes you watch a movie. So by watching the act of, let us say, certain people, let us say watching a movie, you say that they have win over your hearts and minds. What a performance. All right. So one of the very crucial aspect is voluntarism, not coercion, not force, but voluntarily you are performing certain action, and voluntarily people are accepting that you are doing the development of that area. It's not that you are forcefully making people believe that no, respect me, trust me. All right, because if local people trust is not there, local people trust, or let us say local people are not with you, because they may act as informant to enemy, they may act as informant to enemy. बता देंगे यहाँ पे पेट्रोल कर रहा है BSF, कल नहीं आप परफॉर्म करोगे, no, do not do blast on the next day, or they will inform that the, let us say, VIP movement is going to occur, then they may act as a conduit. All right, drug trafficking में मदद कर रहे हैं, so see, एक चीज और मैं बोलना चाहूंगा, just here only in the internal security aspect, that like geography maybe you will also see, IR maybe you will also see, but if you are able to make India map, pictorial representation, if you are able to do, ठीक है, especially in internal security I'm talking about, that will be good, that would be appreciated. All right, so one of the key aspect would be try to make a India map. You should be able to draw India map, let us say 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds maximum. All right, so that is also one of the things which you have to understand. You should be able to draw a map. So local people, so they can act as an informant, they can help in, let us say, drug trafficking. For example, let us say, so what is here? Golden so what is here? Golden triangle. Proximity to drug producing regions. Proximity to drug producing regions. So they may help in drug trafficking. And if they are not having trust with the government, let us say, if they are not having trust with the government, they will move more towards the terrorist. They will help in drug trafficking, let us say arms smuggling. All right. So that is why this strategy is such that the work done by the government gets voluntarily support from the people. They believe that government is working for them. They believe that whatever action the government is taking against the insurgents, against the terrorists, that is right. That is right. All right, that is right. So one of the very crucial aspect of, let us say, anti-terrorism activities or counter-insurgency activities is VAM strategy. All right, people are having trust in your actions. All right, so this is what we are calling as VAM. Because, for example, let us say the question might look like, is Naxalism only an law and order problem? Let us say Naxalism की बात कर रहे हैं, or let us say is terrorism only law and order problem? So developmental issues. So that is why one of the very crucial aspect in tackling these what we call as extremism, let us say militancy हो रही है, terrorism हो रहा है, left wing extremism हो रहा है, is government try to adopt multi-pronged approach. On one hand, security related efforts. On another hand, development related efforts. And these are very crucial aspects for VAM strategy, which will strengthen people trust in this aspects also. In this aspects also, that whatever government is doing, we should not resist it, because what government is doing, that is advantageous for us. That is what advantageous for us. See, one of the thing is, if you talk about terrorism also, if you talk about, let us say, militancy, if you talk about insurgency, one of the very key aspects for these form of extremism, that they have been continued for so long, so much, and for let us say last 20-30 years, is that the people trust in them, that people believe that these separatist movements or these terrorists are working for them. They have been brainwashed. So that is what government wants to wean away these people from them, to believe in their strategies, that okay, what government is doing is correct. That is what is VAM approach. That is what we are calling as VAM approach. So winning hearts and mind. Heart means, sorry. All right. अच्छा, ठीक है. All right. So to win people confidence, trust and respect through genuine goodwill. So government through their effort earns genuine goodwill, humane attitude, sympathetic conduct, and most of them are understanding the social, cultural and moral sensitivity. For example, let us say in these areas, people usually get alienated from the government. In these areas, in these conflict-ridden areas, let us say Jammu and Kashmir, people get alienated from government because they believe that government has not been able to reach us through lack of development, let us say, through lack of employment opportunity. Alright, government has not been able to reach us. So I am feeling disgruntled. I am feeling alienated. Alright, so one of the very crucial aspect is that the developmental efforts by the government in these areas will win hearts and minds of the people, and that will wean away people from these, helping the terrorist activities. So people will have trust in the government, people will have confidence in the government, and also people will try their best that the terrorists do not succeed in their activities. Alright, so kind of win-win situation for government also and local public also. Are you getting the points? So to win popular support voluntarily, that is very important term. It's not based on coercion or force. It's voluntarily. Alright, and willing support from people towards military action against terrorist counter-insurgency operation via people-friendly operations. Because sometimes what we will see, why alienation? Let us say one aspect is lack of economic development. Another aspect is, let us say, killing of normal people, innocent people. Sometimes they also get killed. Alright, so that is why people-friendly operations. Alright, so following a humane approach. It's not about only law and order. It's also about developmental efforts. We have to understand why if people are supporting the terrorist, why? Alright, that is what the idea is. So the first part is this, that you can introduce the BAM strategy, why it is needed, why required, in 2-3 lines. So hearts means persuading people at that their best interest are served by the counter-insurgency operation. What government is trying to do, because what government wants is that people should be on our side. Rather than helping terrorists, they should help me. And when it will be happening? When the government has won the hearts of the people. And the minds are that they are convinced that what counter-insurgency operation they are doing it, people will not resist it. Because they believe that terrorists are not doing any good for them. It's the government who is doing the good for them. Right? That is what. Then introductions you can write. See, always remember few things, because sometimes यहाँ पे थोड़ा I may have written a larger thing, but when you are writing, let us say 150 words, so you have to approach in such a manner that you maximize your score. So in usually the thing is that you will see that, okay, VAM strategy, 2-3 lines, and then directly hitting the question, the measures. Alright, then directly hitting the question key, what are the measures adopted by the government. Alright, so measures, if you see, a lot of measures you can write. Alright, so abrogation of Article 370, integration of Jammu and Kashmir has been made complete. A lot of things have changed. A lot of central laws are now active in the Jammu and Kashmir region. Some of the notable laws are, Child Marriage Act, right to education, land reforms, right to education, reservation law, right to information, RTI. So earlier when the 370 was there, when a special status was there for the Jammu and Kashmir, alright, then these laws were not applicable. That is why we say that the abrogation of Article 370 or reorganization of state of Jammu and Kashmir into two UTs, like, have made the integration of these areas into mainstream India, or they have streamlined their integration. Because now, earlier kya tha? A lot of articles of the constitution were not applicable. A lot of articles of the constitution was not applicable. And most of the time you must have seen that if central government is making law, there would be one line, except Jammu and Kashmir. Except Jammu and Kashmir. वो अब नहीं है. Except has been removed. Alright. Then women empowerment. Earlier there was a thing that if Kashmiri woman has married a non-resident, let us say non-Kashmiri people, then she will have no right on real estate or transfer property to the children. Alright. But that has not been the case now. वो हट चुका है अब. Another thing can be the 3-tier system. Alright. 3-tier system has now been operationalized. Elections, regular elections are going to happen. वो हो रहे हैं. Alright. So winning the hearts and minds of the people through the actions. That is very, very much important. Alright. Through the actions. It's not about words. It's not about words, but through the actions. Alright. Then another aspect is industrial development. Various steps are, see, when we are talking about development, has various aspects. So industrial development, economic development, social development, political development, which we talked about, the 3-tier system has been operationalized. Alright. For example, if you are reading newspapers, you might have heard that for the first time PVR has opened. Alright. Emotional Connect. PVR has opened in the Jammu and Kashmir. Alright. So those are the things which if you read newspapers, if you do the things, that is why I called as brainstorm. Sometimes if you brainstorm, you may come out with good points which you have read over, let us say, 1 week, 2 week, 3 week. Alright. So that is what the idea is. So industrial development. So new central sector scheme for industrial development of Jammu and Kashmir has been announced by the central government, where the emphasis is on job creation, skill development and sustainable development by attracting new investment. So a lot of restrictions have now been eased, which was earlier there when a special status to the state was provided. Alright. Now more and more private investments, more and more foreign investments, more and more industrial development. Alright. So this, you can see that this has been there. So there has been less incidence of, which was earlier there, of stone pelting. So youths were taking stones and they are throwing to the government, stone pelting. Alright. Terrorist activities, wo bhi slow down hua hai, because government is winning over the heart and mind of the people. They are not very much interested in terrorist activities. If you are reading newspaper on a regular basis, you must have seen that a large number of people have gathered when the government, this employment drive was there in the Jammu and Kashmir. A lot of people registered themselves and they actually reached the spot because they want, we need the things, or we have to move away from this helping the terrorist. क्यों help कर रहे हैं? पैसे के लिए कर रहे हैं? That is what the idea is. और क्या कर रहे हैं? Why should you help? Alright. But if you are able to get in a legal way, you will be able to get the jobs, you will be able to do the business. Why should I help it? Alright. That is the case. Another thing, देखिए, sorry. One thing which you have to see here is, when we talk about keywords, so the idea is, discuss the measures adopted by the government. So here it can be central government efforts or union territories government effort. Both can be there. Alright, both can be there. So just try to break down कि हाँ central government or let us say UT government भी कुछ कर रही है. That also you can write. That also you can write. Alright. So UT government of Jammu and Kashmir has taken various policy initiatives. All right, various policy initiatives. For example, Jammu and Kashmir Industrial Policy 2021-2030, Jammu and Kashmir Industrial Land Allotment Policy, Jammu and Kashmir Private Industrial Estate Development Policy, all those things. So this is one of the key aspect is that you can also write, if they have written government, all right. So you can also write, if you know, if you have read, if you have made notes, ki haan, these are the things which have been done by UT government also, right. Then infrastructure development. So Prime Minister Development Package of 80,000 crores has been announced for the development of social infrastructure, economic infrastructure. Then construction of roads, railways, tunnels. What is the latest tunnel जो open हुआ था? Hydropower projects, all right. Hydropower projects, they are being constructed. Jammu is the only city to have premier institute like IIT भी है, IIT and IM. IIT, IM and AIMS, premier institutes, all right. Only district जहाँ पे तीनों हैं. So that is there. Then very recently, Vibrant Village program was announced to develop the infrastructure in the border villages. Like development of border villages, infrastructure development, social infrastructure development, physical infrastructure development. All right. Then Operation Sadbhavna by the Indian Army. So Indian Army अपने स्कूल चलाते हैं, राइट. वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट के लिए वर्क करते हैं. सो वन ऑफ द वेरी क्रूशियल एग्जांपल ऑफ वैम स्ट्रेटजी, one of the very crucial example of WAM strategy. All right, so welfare activities such as army goodwill schools, infrastructure development project and education tools, etc. All right. Another thing is that because of all these things, what we are seeing is highest ever tourist footfall. There has been highest ever tourist footfall in 2022. In 2022. All right. Then back to village scheme. It is being implemented where gazetted officers have to stay in panchayats and block assigned to them for 2 days and 1 night to understand the problems of the people. All right. So local problems, local grievance of the people are being addressed. Local grievance, local people grievances, difficulties, challenges are being addressed by the government. All right. So ease of doing business also. So to promote private investment or to promote FDIs. So ease of doing business, a lot of things have been there. Seamless establishment of business enterprise, various steps have been taken. For example, let us say single window portal. आपको खाली एक जगह जाके सारी चीजें कर दीजिए, आपको required necessary permissions मिल जाएंगे. Necessary permissions मिल जाएंगे. All right. Then hosting the events of G20. All right. So you are the Jammu and Kashmir is now on the map of international arena. People know that because government is very consciously hosting the G20 meetings there. So it will have a lot of impact on tourism potential. Lot of impact on tourist potential. All right. So if you talk about one of the few success, that stone pelting incidents, terrorist related activities have come down. All right. They have come down. So these are the things. Then to further bring peace, stability and prosperity, the government should maintain security preparedness along with socio-economic political development to address the alienation among the Kashmir population. So this is what is related with first question. Few things which I would like to here mention is that the thought process should be the introduction 2-3 lines, then directly hitting the core of the question, ki what are the various things or what are the various government efforts to promote the WAM strategy. Then success, one of the things जो कई बार which few people do, and that is why they get marks, is sometimes what are few obstacles, all right. For example, extrajudicial killing of the people, all right, extrajudicial killing of the people sometimes. For example, let us say AFSA providing excessive powers. So this needs to be seen. This needs to be seen. So one or two lines should always be here, that and a few obstacles in the process of WAM strategy are. And then you may write the conclusion and all those things. So this is how you have to proceed in this question. All right. Next. See, this is directly from the syllabus. Directly from the syllabus. All right. So all these things are covered in the class. Next, the use of unmanned aerial vehicles. Use of unmanned aerial vehicles by our adversaries. By our adversaries across the border. Across the border. To ferry arms. Ferry का मतलब? Ferry का मतलब? To carry. Alright? To carry arms, ammunition, drugs, etc. is a serious threat to internal security. Is a serious threat to internal security. Comment on the measures being taken to tackle this threat. Again, see, one of the good aspects कह लो या one of the bad aspects कह लो कि it is mostly on a kind of, you have to learn the steps which government is taking. Similar as we saw in WAM strategy, तो थोड़ा सा आपको याद करना होगा कि these are the steps which government is taking, because most of the time you will see that discuss the steps taken by the government, so and so for so and so things. So you can say that who is good in, let us say, थोड़ा cram करने में, that is fine. Otherwise you have to also if you attend the class, you have to always also understand that how we connect the things. So comment on the measures being taken to tackle this threat. Unmanned aerial vehicle used by our adversaries across the border. All right. So what do you mean by UAV? See, also one of the good practices, I don't know, this might have been told also, try to see each and every word of the syllabus, be it GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4, especially I am talking about GS2, GS3, GS4 because GS1 में mostly आप करते हो. Whatever word is mentioned, you should be very clearly कि I am able to write 2 or 3 lines as soon as I hear that word in a definitional based way. Let us say for example communalism. So आपको start करना है, कुछ नहीं समझ में आ रहा है, one of the strategy is definition based approach, but वो definition वहां पे बैठ के नहीं बनाना है. You write a definition, the evaluator himself or herself is not able to understand कि भाई communalism ही लिखा है क्या लिखा है. For example, globalization. For example, internal security itself. Let us say you have to write 2 lines on internal security. What would be that? What would be that? All right. So in general also sometimes let us say आधार, आपको कुछ नहीं समझ में आ रहा है, एक लाइन लिखनी है. Let us say a lot of things governance में आप देखते हो civil servant, civil services, 1 line on civil service, and आप start ही नहीं कर पा रहे हो. Trust me, आप start ही नहीं कर पाओगे. आपको start करना है on civil service, writing 1 line, you will not be able to start. फिर आप सोचोगे इसको नहीं, दूसरा कुछ लिख देते हैं. That is how the things work. Once you start writing, this is what the thing is. All right. So be in this habit of at least able to write 1 or 2 lines of all the keywords which are there in the syllabus. which are there in the syllabus. You are able to write at least 2 or 3 lines. And remember that whatever you try to write, दिमाग में वही होना चाहिए, I am writing to get marks. So एक थोड़ा सा बना लीजिए कि sometimes you will say, you know, कि there can be n number of things जो कि आप मेंस में कर रहे हो, but the primary thing is getting the marks. Simple. Alright, very simple thing. So for example, let us say UAV को आपने ड्रोन लिख दिया and somebody says ड्रोन का मतलब ड्रोन का मतलब यूएवी, समझ लीजिए सर अब. So this is, see, jokes apart, this is one of the very genuine difficulty which you will face. All right, very genuine difficulty. See, in this question, how you can start? Let us say, very simple. How you can start? By citing few incidents of use of UAV by the adversarial country in the recent times. Let us say कुछ हुआ है. That can be one good way of context. You are setting the context why this question has been asked. Another way can be, let us say वो चीज नहीं आ रही मान लो. What can be the another way? Let us say definitional based approach. So, हाँ. Yeah. In context setting, जैसे this is specifically asking for India, use of UAV by adversaries of India. But in the, let us say, introduction, you may highlight that non-conventional way of warfare by the state or non-state actors. One of the way of non-conventional warfare is increasing use of drones, which may be seen, for example, why this drone came into light was use of drones by Houthi rebels. All right, they attacked the oil rigs of Saudi Arabia through drones. That is why first time it came into news. And in 2021 also the drones was used by our adversarial nation Pakistan to attack the bases in Jammu and Kashmir. All right. So context based में you can definitely write whatever you are saying, that कि हाँ, it has been one of the prime source of use by, let us say, adversarial country or state and non-state actors, and being used as a non-conventional warfare. Then one line, why? One line, why? Mainly because of improved technologies. Mainly because of improved technologies. ड्रोन की बात हम 10 साल पहले क्यों नहीं कर रहे थे? Because technology was non-existent या technology was very costly. Technology was very costly. Now the same is not the case at this moment. Right. Same is not the case at this moment. One of the very crucial aspect why drone is widespread used, especially for this. Positive भी है सारा कुछ drone का application, but here we are mostly concerned with negative, how it is hampering the internal security. So one of the very crucial aspect is increasing use of drone technology, mainly because of access has been increased. Access has been increased. Improvement in technology. Improvement in technology. Less costly. Less costly. All right. That is why widespread use. That is why widespread use. क्योंकि let us say you use drone from old Rajendra Nagar, let us say to go to Mukherjee Nagar. If you use it, or let us say you want to put surveillance on that. So आपको खुद से नहीं जाना पड़ रहा है, logistic cost कम का है, and you are able to avoid security apparatus most of the time. All right. That is why the use of drones has increased. All right. Are you getting the points? Now, for what purpose? See, I'm just trying to make you aware कि how to think. ये भी एक बड़ा वो है कि सोच ही नहीं पा रहे. So they are being used. Why it is being used? Because technology access has increased. And for what purpose they are being used? So एक purpose लिखा हुआ है. Question में ही एक दो purpose लिखा हुआ है. Carrying arms, ammunition, drugs, etc. Carrying arms, ammunition, drugs, etc. You can increase certain other features ki for which they are being used. All right. So payload threat or smuggling, arms, ammunition, drug, counterfeit currency. All right. So if you see the, for example, India map. All right. So this is India for me. So what I am trying to say, you should also be able to, make map in this like half a second, 1 second. All right. क्योंकि मुझे एग्जाम नहीं देना है तो मेरा इंडिया कुछ भी लग सकता है. All right. So otherwise, for example, drones are being used on the western borders. For example, Punjab drug trafficking, drugs दे रहे हैं. Here western border or LOC most of the time arms and ammunition. Then fake currency also. Fake currency also. Then another very important thing is surveillance. You can, if you want to do the surveillance, you can use the drone कि VIP movement कहाँ पे हो रहा है, critical information infrastructure कहाँ पे है. All right, that you can do surveillance. All right, then attacks. You can use weaponized drones for attacks, as was done in like 2021 on army base in Jammu and Kashmir. All right, so you can also use it to carry explosive which can destroy target. It may be used as a delivery system for chemical, biological and nuclear substance. All right. So potential threat from drones are many. Potential threat from drones are many, and there has been a increased use of drones from on the western border by our adversarial country. All right. So this is there. Now, what are the various steps which government has taken? What are the various steps which government has taken to counter it? Again, I am saying that whatever we have said, you have to write in 2-3 lines, 2-3-4 lines maximum, because that after that you have to attack the main question. So context setting can be there. Why increased role of drones and for what they are used? One line. All right. So recent drone attack, Air Force base in Jammu was suspected members by Lashkar-e-Taiba 2021 mein. Then border security forces have shot down a lot of drones, carrying arms and drugs. They have shot down a lot of drones. Then BSF has reported more than 268 drone sightings in 2022 compared to 109 and 49 in 2020. So the use of drone is increasing. This fact is telling you about that. The drone sightings by BSF has increased multiple times compared to 2020. Right? Compared to 2020. Now, if you're talking about the measures entry drone system D4S. So drone detect, deter, destroy system. Drone detect, deter and destroy system. So first indigenously system developed for anti-drone system. Indigenously developed anti-drone system जो recently it was deployed for Red Fort 15th August के लिए, alright, last year. So this is there. Then drone detection and tracking. Drone उड़ रहा है, उसको आप detect कर लिए. That is one very primary thing. You have to able to detect it via several things, via use of technology. Let us say ground based radar system, thermal imaging, acoustic sensors. Alright, you are able to detect कि हाँ drone आ रहा है, monitoring. Alright, then handheld radio frequency jammers are used. Handheld radio frequency. See, again I am telling you that one thing कि subject specific vocabulary. यहां पे ये सारी चीजें आपको लिखनी पड़ेंगी, बिकॉज दैट इज व्हाट इज बीइंग यूज्ड. तो थोड़ा सा यहां पे ये सब चीजें आपको लिखनी ही पड़ेंगी. देन बॉर्डर फ्लड लाइट्स दिखे, रात में भी दिखे, ड्रोन आ रहा है तो. ऑलराइट, बॉर्डर सिक्योरिटी फेंस टू लाइट अप द एरिया ड्यूरिंग द आवर्स ऑफ डार्कनेस. देन अनदर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट क्रूशियल एस्पेक्ट इज intelligence network has to be very strong. All right, intelligence network has to be very strong, and coordination of various, let us say BSF, let us say BSF has spotted, for example, let us say BSF has spotted a drone is coming, for example. Now coordination with military, coordination with, let us say, local police, local law enforcement is very much required, so that a fruitful action is being taken. आपको information है something negative is going to happen tomorrow, let us say. If you are not able to execute that information in crucial action form to avoid that, what is the फायदा of that information? That is where coordination is very much necessary, to take coordinated action to prevent the thing from happening, to prevent the things from happening. Right? Then vulnerability mapping, we will try to understand which are the areas which are more vulnerable to this drones. So detailed vulnerability mapping has been carried out along India-Pak border, including Punjab state, to strengthen surveillance. Weak points क्या क्या हैं? Weak points क्या क्या हैं? Vulnerability में पता चल जाएगा. Then anti-drone systems. If you know that drone is coming, we will try to jam it, or we will try to destroy it. Alright, अगर वो frequency में जाके jam कर देते हैं, it is called as soft killing. And if you use guns, if you use, let us say, missile to destroy it, उसको बोलते हैं hard target, hard killing, soft killing and hard killing. Right? Again, very important is working with the community, raising awareness of the people. That is why अगर यहाँ पे भी वही important है कि winning hearts and minds of the people. That people, if you have any information, you come and tell to us. If you spot any drone, you come and tell to us. Right? That is what working with the community, working with the what government is doing. They are working with the committee. Alright. Then anti-rogue drone technology committee that has been established by the MHA. Alright, by the MHA. Then drone rules 2021 has been notified. कौन ड्रोन उड़ा सकता है, what is no fly zone, all those things have been specified. Alright, then digital sky platform. So drone operators are required to obtain necessary permissions and approvals, which helps in ensuring that only authorized drones are allowed to operate, reducing the risk of illicit drone activities. Another thing is we are also collaborating with technology companies to develop geofencing technologies that prevents UAV from entering sensitive zones. So various steps are being taken to tackle this emerging tool which is now being used to threaten the internal security of the country. All right, various things are being done by the government. Now again I am saying that this answer would be less complete, or the chances are you may get less marks if you are not able or missing out this कि what are various concerns. कई बार वो क्वेश्चन में लगेगा कि यार ये तो पूछा नहीं है, but this is what you learn through practice. This is what you learn through practice. All right. So one of the aspect is sometimes the small UAVs, that is what we call nano UAVs and micro UAVs, they are able to dodge the technologies. वो डिटेक्ट ही नहीं कर पाया रडार में, इतना छोटा था. All right, they are able to dodge the technology. Another very important aspect is swarm drones. So multiple drones are flying at once. Then this confuses the radar system. Then sometimes even if we have the information, we are not able to take the timely action, mainly because of lack of coordination among the security agencies. Like, these needs to be seen. Then cyber security concerns related with drones, all those things. So then few suggestions. So promoting startups working in drone technology, national level hackathon to brainstorm and develop new anti-drone technologies, and then collaborating with like-minded countries. All right. So all those things you can write. This. Let us take two questions in a. Just try to understand कि what is the major chunk. Otherwise, वो सारी चीजें आपको दिख जाएंगी. What is the crucial aspects which needs to be addressed? That is more important, right? For example, another important aspect, if you have seen the mains paper, you may seem like कि questions तो बहुत आसान पूछ रहा है, पढ़ना क्या है? किसी को ये feeling आई है? सबको ही आई है, बस बता नहीं रहे. तो trust me, question will always be easy, but getting marks would be difficult. Question will always be easy. Right? Getting marks would be difficult. For example, what are the internal security challenges being faced by India? Give out the role of central intelligence and investigative agencies tasked to counter such threats. So, very simple, if you read the syllabus, जितने भी challenges लिखे हुए हैं, अगर उतना ही लिख देंगे तो आपको marks मिल जाएंगे. सिलेबस में जितने इंटरनल सिक्योरिटी थ्रेट के चैलेंजेस लिखे हुए हैं, आप उतना ही लिख दें, इसमें और दिमाग लगाना ही नहीं है, उतना ही लिख दें तो ठीक हो जाएगा. और उससे रिलेटेड यू विल नीड कि एक दो एजेंसीज आप पढ़े होंगे, दैट यू कैन राइट कि हाँ दिस इज द रोल ऑफ दिस. आर यू गेटिंग द पॉइंट्स? कि दिस इज व्हाट यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड फ्रॉम द सिलेबस कि हाँ दीज आर द 8-9 मेन इंपॉर्टेंट threats which we need to study. Why same thing you can write? All right. Why same thing you can write here? All right. Left wing extremism, insurgency in northeast, militancy in Jammu and Kashmir, cyber security threats, money laundering, terrorism, organized crime, illegal migration, drug and narcotics trafficking, arms smuggling, counterfeit currency. जो सारा सिलेबस में है एटलीस्ट उतना तो हम लिख सकते हैं. This is how you have to see. This is how you have to see. And then you can write about the various central agencies. जो चीजें हैं, it's a very direct question, very direct questions. This you can just write whatever things are there. You can write about कि हाँ this has played crucial role, this has played crucial role. Then again the comes very important thing is what are the few suggestions or few difficulties in central investigative agencies. मैन पावर की कमी है, कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग अप्रोच नहीं है, फाइनेंशियल्स की दिक्कत है, टाइमली कोऑर्डिनेशन नहीं है, टाइमली एक्शन नहीं है, एंड ऑल दोस थिंग्स. एंड स्टेप्स नीड्स टू बी टेकन टू काउंटर इट. Steps needs to be taken to counter it. So this is what you can write in this question. Well, direct question, straightforward question. If you see the previous year question, the similar nature of question has been asked multiple times. Another important thing is give out the major sources of terror funding. So this is mainly because India, there was no conference on no money for terror. That is why this question was asked. This question was asked. Sometimes you may see that current affairs का implications कैसे है. Let us say left wing extremism के blast कर दिया left wing. So that topic may come into the news. Alright. So this was kind of static thing, came in the news because this conference was held in the country. Alright. So terror funding. So various terror funding, for example, proceeds from organized crime, they can be used for terror funding. Then proximity to drug producing region, golden crescent and golden triangle. So drug trafficking से हमारे पास पैसा आ रहे हैं. Then use of counterfeit currency. Then hawala transactions, money laundering. We'll read hawala transactions. At least word use होगा, सुना होगा लोगों ने hawala transactions. Then social media platform, darknet to solicit donations, crowdfunding. Alright. Then proceeds from cyber crime and cyber frauds. These are being used to fund the terror attacks. Use of NGOs. Alright. Use of NGOs. Front organization is NGO. उसके बाद उसका पैसा हम चैनलाइज कर रहे हैं टेरर एक्टिविटीज में. Alright. Use of cryptocurrency. That is also because it provides anonymity. It provides anonymity. That is why it is being used. Then foreign funding. State sponsored. Pakistan fund कर रहा है. So various sources of funding. Then what are the government efforts? वही सारी चीजें government efforts लिए हैं, legislative efforts है, institutional mechanism है. For example, demonetization. One of the crucial aspects of demonetization was terror funding को रोकने के लिए था, black money रोकने के लिए था. So all those things you can write. Institutional mechanism is there, legislative mechanism is there. All those things you can write down. So this I have just written down what are the 5 pillars which was given by our Home Minister during that conference. What are the 5 pillars to combat financing of terrorism? Alright, these are the 5 pillars which was there. And then they have asked what are the aim of this conference and the objective and focus area of this conference. Very direct question. Very direct question. But the 2-3 crucial aspects which you have to take out from this session would be approaching a subject specific vocabs for different subjects, practicing answers, especially doing the previous year questions, and giving due weightage to each and every sections of the syllabus, because GS3 does not mean. All right. So that is it from my side. I will not take much more time. Thank you.